but I post these on YouTube. It's like a whole playlist of the last 5 or 6 weeks of me doing this. It's different topics each time, and basically what I do is I start with a topic and then I answer every question. Like I don't leave till every question answered. If you guys want to, tap out at a certain time, that's fine. Or it could be about anything, not just about what I'm doing. But I like to start the conversation with something. So people usually pay more attention if you come in with a topic than us just getting on here and, hey, so how's it going? You know what I'm saying? So um, I'm gonna keep it as short as possible. If you're not familiar with me, my name is JP. I go by JP just naturally. I just started doing the Coach JP thing maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. I'm a recent MBA graduate. I graduated from Wayne State University's Mike Ilitch School of Business. I graduated top of my class. Um, I've been through hell and back, so I understand a lot of this stuff from personally doing it. What I believe in is entrepreneurial. Um, it's different for minorities, so I believe entrepreneurship for us is very different. So when I deal with people, I deal with it from our struggles, from what we go through, and I don't have no apologies for that. I know that it's different. I know that we fighting a different fight. So a lot of everything that I do is geared towards us. It's not nothing personal with anybody else, but I know that minorities, whether it's women, whether it's blacks, Hispanics, whatever, we going through a whole different fight. The money is harder to get. You got to be a lot better prepared. You got to have your stuff together a lot better. And it just is what it is. I mean, it's there. It's just we got to fight for it. So with that being said, this particular session is I'm gonna start off with ads. I've been running ads. I come from music. That's where JP come from. My nickname was Jackpot, and then I shortened it to JP1. I did music for about 25 years, maybe professionally. Like I had record deals, different things like that. And the last about 2015, I had my own label. I started running ads and doing different things. I got into doing music. And eventually I got into doing the business side because I was running the label. I did pretty good. You can check out a lot of the stuff on YouTube and different places. I still do music here and there, but mostly I do this because I actually like this. And I make more money doing this than music, to be honest. So you got to go where the money is. So um, that's the main thing about me. Um, I'm gonna set this up into a slideshow so we can rock and roll. And let's rock and roll. So advertising, I don't care what kind of business you have, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever the social media, they are limiting our reach. And you see people telling businesses, you don't have to run ads and you don't have to do this, but they're running ads. That's crazy to me. Like you see people running ads saying, the no ad way to do this and that, do such and such without ads. And I've done a lot of things without ads, and I'm telling you, it's so much harder. You got to go on. I got a nice following on social media already, but if you don't run ads, you are fighting with every piece of content that's uploaded every minute of the day, every second of the day. And you're not being able to target the people who you need to target to get to whatever your product is. So you can do this in a bunch of different ways, but if you just boost a post, you need to understand what you're boosting the post for. So sometimes you boosting the post for brand awareness, and that's just to get your brand in front of people. And that could be whatever the brand may be. The brand could be you. You just want to get your face in front of people to where they're familiar with you. They see you. They say, okay, I know Brittany. That's Brittany. I've seen this ad 4 or 5 times. Dang, they might get tired of seeing the ad. Let me follow her. You know what I'm saying? Let me follow her, whatever it is you're talking about. So that's one aspect of actually running the ads. And then you could get lead generation. So I run ads right now for a little bit of both. So I run ads for brand awareness because I'm new to the coaching spirit. It's really like my second to third year actually doing this coaching thing. So I'm building that up. And then for lead generation, because beyond coaching, I do software. I work with HighLevel. I don't know if people are familiar with that, but I'm a certified administrator with HighLevel. And no, even if you don't want me to coach you, you may need the software, CRM, Facebook, Instagram, all of that social media management. It's dope. It's AI, everything. So I believe in the software, so I'm dealing with that. So now I get lead generation for both. Maybe you don't want to be coached. Maybe you just want the software, you could do your own thing, and that's fine. So, all of that actually helps my sales growth. So you being aware of my brand helped me sell things, and me generating leads helped me to sell things. Um, as you can see, you are in my CRM. So when I send out mass text messages, you get them. It can be annoying sometimes, and some people gonna say stop, and that's fine because they weren't gonna buy anything anyway. I don't worry about that. But in your business, you have to understand that too. So in whatever your business is, you have to always keep a flow of potential clients or leads. So that's what you're running ads for: brand awareness, lead generation, and it'll help. Both of those help your sales grow. Because if people are familiar with your brand, they don't mind spending money with you. They trust that you're gonna do what you say you're gonna do, and they'll give you a shot if they just a little more comfortable with you. And you having all those leads, if I send out 100 text messages uh, a week, you know what I'm saying, and one person buys something, I'm not mad if 20 of those people, say stop and take me off your list. It's all good. So um, the difference between social media and traditional marketing is a very vast difference. With social media, you are able to target exactly who you want to target. You can go right in, you can see how many clicks and different things that you are getting. You can keep up with it literally by the minute. I'm running two different ads right now. One has my face on it and it's talking about this meetup every week. One is just a real life XP. It's just a mock-up of the course and the workbook. But both of those ads are performing like literally identical. So I'm running both of those ads until one of them has more push than the other one, and then I'll drop the bottom one. Then I'll have a new ad with the same type of concept. So you always A/B testing, right? And you can do that with social media. So with traditional advertising like print, television, different things like that, you don't have the same controls. So with traditional advertising, let's say Lexus, it's the same concept because Lexus is not going to put their ads on Jerry Springer. I love me some Jerry Springer growing up, and that was my personal thing, but I couldn't afford a Lexus growing up either, right? So it's like selling pork hot dogs outside of a Nation of Islam meeting. So if the Nation of Islam having a meeting, yeah, they might be hungry. Even if one or two of them like to sneak out and have some pork here and there, they're not gonna do it in front of each other. So if you got 5,000 of those people and you think you're gonna go out there and sell 200-300 hot dogs, you probably wrong. It just is what it is. So you have to understand what you're selling and where those people are. Can the people that's watching Jerry Springer actually afford this Lexus? Probably not. I'm not being funny. It just is what it is. If they sitting at home during the day watching Jerry Springer, they probably can't afford your Lexus. So it doesn't make sense to pay for an ad to be put in front of those people, even though it may be 10 million people watching. Can a percentage of those people actually afford what you're selling? Same thing with the hot dog and the Nation of Islam concept. If those people are in the Nation of Islam, they don't eat pork. Why are you out there selling pork hot dogs in front of their meeting? It's pointless. It doesn't matter if it's 5,000 people there. You're not going to sell those hot dogs. You got to understand your business. You got to understand uh, who's your main target. So that leads right into this particular slide. Understanding your target is one of the biggest things in social media and running ads, right? Because if you are spending money on your ad, you're paying for different ways: cost per click, cost per engagement, cost per whatever. It's like all these different things. But when you're running social media ads, you can literally click it open, and in your ad management, you see what's it costing you per click. And when I first started running ads in 2015, I was spending so much money and I didn't understand why, because I was just boosting it and I'll just say, click, click, bam, here you go. And I'll look up and I may be spending $10 per click. Literally, it was like high as hell. It was like $10 per click or something, $12 per click. And I didn't understand why. So they give you some simpler ways now. You can say, hey, I want to shoot this ad in front of people that like my page and people that's like them. You can like pick different segments to actually put these ads in front of. But that was something that I had to learn. And that was Facebook actually making it easier to run ads. So once you understand the person that's buying your product, then you can target those ads to them. You know their needs, their goals, their aspirations. So you know the right words to say. If you see my ad and you are an entrepreneur and you need certain type of help and you going through certain type of things in your business, my ad, it took to you. You were a magnet to that ad. Like, dang, this makes sense. This could help me. If you are not an entrepreneur or if you didn't aspire to be an entrepreneur, my ad would not catch you. I clearly state in in the ad, entrepreneurs. If you are an entrepreneur, so right off the rip, you know if you're an entrepreneur, this could be for you. As you read down the ad or you look at what's on the ad, you can say, okay, can I use this or can I not use this? But that's important. You don't want everybody clicking your stuff because it tear up your algorithm and it tear up your data. So you looking at your data and you got 10,000 people that clicked it, but only 1,000 of those people actually fit your target, then you thinking that you're doing better than you are. So you spending more money on ads that you don't really need to spend because you can go in and target it down. The better you niche down, the better you target your ads, then the less money you will be spending to do the same thing. So I'm spending about 48 cents per ad now, right? And 48 cents per click, I'm sorry. So where I started off at $10 a click, I've learned and learned and learned, and you get down and now I'm spending less than 50 cents a click. So with less than 50 cents a click, I may get because all of those clicks now leads. So I may get, if 50 cents a click, let's say I spent $100 on the ad today, and that's 200 clicks I might get, right? But within those 200 clicks, only 50 of those people actually signed on to give me their information, right? I'm still doing good. So I spent $100 for 200 clicks, but only 50 people gave me the information. So I just spent $100 for 50 leads. So right now I'm spending $2 per lead. That's how you understand marketing. So if you have a product that you're selling for $100 and you're only paying $2 per lead, you understand that you need to sell something within 50 leads to break even on this particular ad. You need to sell something. So if you make 50 phone calls to these leads and you get one sale, you broke even on the ad. That's how it works, right? So now you get these, you target your audience, you know who you're looking for, you listening to the feedback, and you focusing your message on that particular target. You have to know who you're selling to. Everybody's not buying your product. If you have a product that's selling for $5,000, right? So you can have 1,000 people on your page, right? And if the people on your page can't afford your product, then you're targeting the wrong people. I see people all the time. My friend's not buying this. My friend's not utilizing my business. Your friends may not be your target audience. You may be a woman with a lot of male friends, and you may be selling beauty products that only women use. So unless a male friend is buying it for his mama, sister, or his girlfriend, he's not your target audience. You have to know that. That's a very important thing in your business, is understanding your target audience. So each slide leading to the next slide. So knowing your audience and help you create the right message and the right words. Like I said, entrepreneur, just that word, it resonates with a certain crowd, right? It doesn't resonate with everybody. It's certain people that's calling themselves entrepreneurs and they got side hustles, right? It's a side hustle. It's certain things it doesn't mean that you have to make the majority of your income. It's a side hustle when you're not taking it serious. It's a side hustle when you haven't had your LLC, different things like that. You don't have the basic things to have your business actually look like a business. It's literally just a side hustle. You don't have a business bank account. You don't have a website. You don't have all of this stuff. Then you just have a side hustle. Until you take your business serious, it's just a side hustle, right? So when you know your audience, you know where they are. So your audience may not be on Facebook. Your audience may be swipers that's just on Instagram, right? You got to know that. Your audience may not be on either one. Your audience may be on YouTube. People go to YouTube to learn things. So most of your audience may be there. So you may be wasting your time posting stuff on Facebook when the people who you want to be in front of are on YouTube. You have to understand where they at. So key demographics and psychographics, right? So demographics like your age and income. So it's certain things that people at 20, they don't need. Like if you were selling ED medication, if you're selling erectile dysfunction medication, a 20-year-old doesn't need that. Why? That would not. So when you make your target, you would target the age to maybe 35 to 60, 45 to 60. Because Facebook is charging you to put this ad in front of people. Instagram is charging you to put this ad in front of people. Google is charging you to put this ad in front of people. And the good thing about these particular social media platforms, they have the person's information. They know that they're 24. So if you set your target to 45, they're not going to put your ad in front of them and you saving yourself money. You have to target the right people, or you're going to spend a lot of money and get terrible results. I did it. Trust me, I did it. So understanding the age and income. So one thing about income is buying power. If you're selling something that's $5,000, you're going to target people of a certain educational level. You're going to target people of a certain interest, certain values, certain lifestyle, certain habits. It's just the way that the targeting works. And that's the beautiful thing about social media. They have a person's life within their hands. They have all of this information. They're going to know whether they're interested in coaching, whether they're interested in growing a business, whether they're interested in basketball, football, music, whatever your interests are, your social media platforms, they know it. They know you better than you know yourself. They know you better than you know yourself. You don't even have to click it. If you sit on something too long and read the caption, they know you like it. And they're going to give you some more of it. So if you're running ads, then you need to use this to your advantage. Social media is here to give you this information. They may not sell it to you like they do to bigger companies, but they're giving you the information when they allow you to use their platform to run ads and get in front of these people. Right? So even in the social influence group, you may run ads to a certain group of people because they are influencers. They have the reach that you may not be able to reach organically. So when you get to these people, you need to understand who they have influence over. If it's somebody that have influence of, let's say, 70 million people, that's cool. That's cool. But the person with 5 million people may have a better crowd that's targeted for you. If you don't know your target and you haven't identified the key demographic and psychographic factors for your target, you are wasting your money and your time. It's like throwing a wet paper towel at the wall, hoping something sticks. The importance of social media advertising. As I stated earlier, these social media sites are informational troves. They have so much information. People watch TV. You don't know who watching TV in that house. You don't know who watching shows in that house. You don't know. You can run an ad on the TV station and you don't have a clue. It can be something that's actually like Shark Tank, right? You may think, okay, I'm gonna run ads during Shark Tank time. And it's a 16-year-old in that house watching Shark Tank. They do not care about your product that's for a 45-year-old. But with social media, everybody is on their own social media page. And social media, they know that you're 45. They know that you like certain things, even when you try to act like you don't. If you watch fight videos, they know. Like social media have all of this information. So it's the best place to run your ads and to touch your targeted audience. Different platforms in the targeting options. So Facebook, as I stated earlier, I run Facebook and Instagram ads. I do some things on Google from time to time, but I've gotten better traction on Facebook and Instagram, so I stick to what's working. On Facebook, you have detailed targeting capabilities. You reach your audience, y'all. On Facebook, you're going to reach your audience. You just need to know your audience. By the time I get in my social media account and I set up my Facebook ad, I know exactly what this particular ad is for, because I run ads for different things. Sometimes, like last year, I did a big teen financial literacy workshop. And in this workshop, I targeted people that were more local. I'm from Detroit. So the target was for people within a certain radius, and it was for people with children or teenagers. Like it was even I even targeted teenagers, like 16-year-olds or whatever. I targeted the schools around the area, and I filled that up. I had to stop the ad. I filled up the workshop weeks before the workshop. Like I thought I was gonna be like scrambling was my first time doing something like that with teenagers, and literally it was filled up so fast just off of the targeting. I saved money, everything. I ended up scrapping the budget, like just from targeting the right people. You can't just make an ad. Why would I run an ad for a local thing? It was done somewhere here in Detroit. And why would I run an ad that's going to reach people in California, New York, LA, Atlanta, whatever? Why would I run an ad for all of this place? And I know that the people that's going to come are all going to be from this area. So I may have made like a 20-mile radius or something, 18-mile radius, and I ran ads to those people, right? You have to understand what the target is. And the target may be different for different things that you're doing. But you know that, and if you don't, then you need to understand that before you go into that. So with Instagram, Instagram is a lot more visual than Facebook. Facebook, you see words and different things, even though there are videos and pictures on there. With Instagram, it's all videos and pictures. Even if you see words, usually it's some type of picture of words. It's some meme or something with words or whatever. So you got to understand that that's kind of the same crowd. You can target it the same way. I run Facebook and Instagram ads from the same ad account. You just click a button and it go to Instagram or vice versa. So you run it from Facebook, you click a button and it's going to Instagram. Twitter, I don't do a lot on Twitter. Twitter then turned into the Freaknik. I don't do a whole lot on there, period. But Twitter is decent for ads. They started doing ads a few years after Facebook, and it's been running pretty good. With Google, the ads on Google are they are effective. I just was spending less on Facebook and Instagram and getting a better return. But Google ads can work better for you if you have a local product. With what I'm doing is not necessarily a local product, even though that teen financial literacy workshop was. My everyday coaching and different things that I'm doing is not local. I do everything via Zoom. So I target outside of just doing something like on the Google ads, right? And most of my people are not on Google ads looking for coaching necessarily. They're usually getting uh some type of peer advice. You see, and they looking for some type of proof of concept. So on Facebook, you will see people interact with me, thank me for stuff, tag me for stuff. So you'll be a little more comfortable with coming and deal with me. LinkedIn is decent. I think I ran ads once on there. I really didn't understand it as good as I did Facebook, Instagram, or Google. So I just put it here because it's an option. But it's a dope option, man. But I just gotta learn it. And right now I wasn't in the space to just learning a whole new platform because I use the other ones a lot more. Social media advertising, you can keep up with your performances. That's the one of the most important things, as I stated earlier. When you looking at something on TV, you don't really know who watching. Even if they say they were in 40,000 homes, that's cool, but I don't know who watching. Some people turn their TV on and go do laundry. Like, you know what I'm saying? The TV could just be on. So you want to make sure you understand what you are actually doing these ads for, whether it's for impressions, reach, engagement. You got to have some call to action, and you got to have some type of way to gauge what you're doing. With traditional advertising, it's a lot more expensive. As you see a newspaper here, nobody is reading a newspaper for real. Like it just is what it is. You go spend money on a newspaper ad because it make you feel better. You go spend money on some like the door-to-door things, they're a little more expensive. I fully believe in social media ads, and they've helped me tremendously. Um, with the offline things, you have newspapers, magazines. Once again, nobody reading that. But if you want to do that, that's cool. You might have a trade magazine that people are still interested in. Like you may have home decor or something that people still go through and look at. And your service you may be an interior designer and that may work for you. You know what I'm saying? But overall, most people are online And that's where you want to reach these people at. Because home decor, they may be charging $5,000 for a page, and you can go spend that $5,000 in ads, and your ad will never get old. With home decor, there's going to be a new issue next month or next 2 months or whatever, and your ad gonna be old news. Nobody's gonna keep buying that magazine. So traditional advertising, it's strategic. You know what I'm saying? Strategic, and then you need a little bit more work with Facebook ad. You can literally just drop a flyer in there and get you some good ad copy, and you good to go. You know what I'm saying? With print ads and all that, you need some better designers. If it's a commercial, you need somebody to record, edit it, and make it look professional. And with radio, you can do that a lot. You can do that a lot cheaper than a commercial, but I've done radio spots and they have not been lucrative for me. In my business, in any from music to business, the radio has not been a great help for me. I've done some things on podcasts that were better, but with the radio, terrible. Um, with tracking and evaluating for traditional ads, once again, you don't have as much information as you have on social media, but you can keep up with this and understand your ROIs, which is your return on investment. Um, it's so hard. Like, I don't tell anybody. Like, I've had people like reach out to me about starting a magazine. I'm like, bro, why would you do that? Like, the big magazines are closed. That's stupid to me. Like Ebony, I don't even think it's an Ebony. Like, it's things that's been around for 50, 60 years is closed. 100 years. Like, you don't need a magazine. Like, get over it. People are rarely watching cable TV. You know what I'm saying? So it's just weird. Like, I don't promote traditional ads in any way. But if you want to do that, then there's ways to do it. You can create good market. You can conduct market research. And once again, you'll spend more money just to figure out where you need to spend more money at. Um, so with integrated advertising, you need to make sure your goals are aligned. So with my goals are to get more clients to my coaching business or my software business. My SaaS is what it's called. But overall, you can run an ad that's a great ad. The ad can get a lot of clicks. People could join your mailing list, but they can never buy anything. You need to go in and change the copy. Like, it just is what it is. And then once you do that and you have your goals aligned with your ad, you need to understand the right channels. Where are your customers at? Once you track and measure the results, you can make the adjustments. As I said earlier, I'm running 2 different ads right now. Last week I had 5 different ads running. I had 5 different ads running. I shut 3 down one day last week. Then I run these 2. Then like I said, I'm always making adjustments. And it may be 4 ads in a few days. I may just change the copy. So you may see the same picture with different words just to see if those words attract more people. But this is what you do when you're making ads. You're always testing. You're always changing things. You're always maneuvering. So even with different ads, you got to have a consistent brand voice. So your brand should be consistent over everything from the website to the ads to your social media platform. If you have a certain type of aesthetic, a certain type of way of doing business, and then you jump on social media and you sharing fight videos and inappropriate content, you tearing away from your brand. Unless that's your brand. If your brand is turned up, then that's all good. But if your brand is more professional, you have to do professional things across everything. Create a content calendar. Like I said, I use HighLevel, which is a CRM system. You can create content and you can schedule this content, and that's important. And I do videos and different things like that, and I try to keep that on a decent schedule too. But it's important that you are making content and you're releasing content regularly. And regularly could mean 3 times a week for certain platforms. But if you were like on Twitter, you would be making content all day. It's an all-day job. With YouTube, you can do 1 video a week. With Facebook or Instagram, you may want to do a video a day. I'm just throwing out a number, but you get the concept. Each platform is different. So I did that. Let me stop sharing this. I see both of y'all here. There's other people didn't come back, and that's cool too. You got any questions?
Well, yeah, I do. I have a couple of questions. This was great information, great content. Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate all the information that you have given and shared with us. Um, I noticed that some of the things I took some notes about what you were saying about your target audience. One of the things that I have had problems with. And so I know that I see that branding yourself is important,
Mhm.
and being able to reach your target audience is based off of how you brand yourself. And so I really wanted to know, like, I'm a very introverted person, and usually I like to go off of word of mouth, and actually that's how I found your information. It was actually off of someone from where my child get their mentorship from. I don't know if you heard of the union or not,
Oh,
but
Antoine Crowder.
yep, and that's the page that I got your information off of,
Okay. Mm.
because I needed help in entrepreneurship branding. I needed help with
Mhm.
how to go about sales, how to have a target market, like, and how that work, just the ins and outs of it all.
Okay.
And I really didn't know where to start. I had business before, and it just failed because I really didn't know a lot of people.
Mhm.
And so I didn't know how that could work for me moving forward. And then so when I seen this ad, I said, you know what? It don't hurt to go check this out. It wouldn't hurt to go see, because had people try to help me before, and it was unsuccessful. And
Mhm.
so I thought, like, you live in my city, why not just go check it out? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So my question is, how do you create a brand for yourself? And how do you get to um the point where say for instance, if you're shy and you really don't like um posting your face all over your brand, how could you also reach your target markets?
Okay. This I like this better than the presentation. So, um, what is your brand?
Well, right now I am working with some pain patches. Right now is that has helped me. It is called Life Wave, and it is actually a miraculous product. It's not my brand per se. It's something that I bought into and invested in, but I really want to get the reach out there to let people know about it because it has blessed me tremendously. And so that is just something that I wanted to do. And I don't know how to really get the word out. And like you mentioned, which is it's crazy because you said your friends and your family might not be your target market, and or they might not have the money that you're looking to get, or can support you in that way.
Mhm.
And I just found that was funny because it's like in my other business ventures, that was so true. It was it ain't even funny. I'm like, why y'all not helping me? They just couldn't. So 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 I just wanted to know, like, how do you reach people? So anyway, speaking more about the product. So the product is it's a product that it's a patch that can take away pain. It's a patch that can help renew your stem cells that help reverse aging on a cellular level. I mean, I can go on and on about it. Like for instance, I had an issue with my knee. I have arthritis in both of my knees, right? And I was actually going to get these gel shots, going to the doctor or whatever, not every so often. And so I say about a month ago, it got really bad to where I needed to use a cane, and a I needed to use a brace. And right when I was looking, I was actually on another meeting concerning business, and someone came in and started speaking about it. So I was curious. I was like, okay, what's this about? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always looking for better ways to improve myself. And
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, so what is this about? And they started explaining to me. Nevertheless, I went on and just purchased the pain patches and stuff for myself. And I would say within like 7 days, I am not joking, I'm not kidding. Within 7 days,
Hmm.
no, within 4 days, I came from off of my cane. Within 3 more days, I didn't need my brace. And when I tell you the pain was excruciating, I was on oxycodones. Yes, I am not joking. I was on oxycodones.
Mm.
So it's like it was that bad. I have other issues too that is helping me with. I mean, so like I want to be able to get this message across for those who are like myself, who may be experiencing issues and things of that nature. And I want to be, and you can, it's lucrative. You know, you sign people up or whatever the case may be. And if they want, you can sell to them. But if they want, they can also, you know what I'm saying, come into business. And it's like, I want to let people know about it. So, you know what I'm saying? How do I do that? Or is that not, would that would that not be how I can would that not be for me because it's not my particular business? You understand what I'm saying? Like, is this because it's somebody else's business and I bought into it as an investment? Would that not work for me as being able to have a brand, as being able to be marketable, or being
Mhm.
able to be what people consider trustworthy? You know what I'm saying? To where it can generate leads. You know what I'm saying? How would that work for me?
Yeah. So when you dealing with somebody else and a brand, you have limited. It's limited, right? So
Mhm.
what you can do is limit it because you can't go in and say, okay, I'm changing the packaging, right?
Okay.
It's not your business.
Mhm.
You can't you so what you can do is limit it. You can't go in and say, okay, I'm changing the wording and whatever. Like there's only so
Mhm.
much you can do with somebody else's business, but
Mhm.
you can control the way you sell it, right?
Mhm.
I don't know the
Mhm.
type of rights you have as
Mhm.
what you bought into, but if
Mhm.
you want to run ads, you can run ads.
Mhm.
With ads, like I said, I've run ads with my person with my picture on it, and I've run
Mhm.
ads with just mock-ups on it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So you can run
Mhm.
ads based on whatever you pushing, whatever you want to sell. The thing about it is you have to be clear about the target. So with something
Mhm.
like that, you already know that the target is a little older. Naturally,
Mhm.
people with aches and
Mhm.
pains are older.
Mhm.
The target is people that, depending on the price, right? So I
Mhm.
don't know how much the price is, but if
Mhm.
that's going to give you an audience too, because if the price is $500 a bottle, everybody, I mean, or a patch, everybody don't got that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to target people of a certain demographic, and that may be you can actually target based on income. So you may be targeting if it was $5,000 a patch, $500 a patch, whatever. You may be charging you may be looking for people that's making between 100, maybe 100K, 50 to 100K, or they got certain type of um, insurance, whatever. You see what I'm saying? So you just gotta understand the product. That's how you understand how the market is, understanding the product. Once you understand this product is for X, Y, and Z, then you're able to target your ads, everything, even your regular posts, your natural posts or whatever. You can target those based on X, Y, and Z. Like you know that you're gonna say certain words that this crowd take to, right? The colors. I don't know if they got a website. One thing about me, if I'm gonna, even when I do affiliate marketing, I check out everything because any any touch point, which is a website, social media, that's where clients or potential clients touch your company with their eyes, with their ears, whatever. Any touch point that's messed up, you want to get away from that company. That's how I look at it. If I go to your site or I'm go to your social media and it's messy, I don't want nothing to do with you. If I go to your Google My Business profile or whatever, and I get on there and it's a bunch of bad reviews and everybody dogging you and your customer service trash, I don't want nothing to do with you. So if you're selling it, but you don't own it, only thing you can control is what's within your sphere of control. In your sphere of control, it could be, it may not be running ads depending on your contract, but it may be you talking on TikTok and saying, "Hey, go buy this. DM me if you want to buy this." You know what I mean? Whatever. But it's only so much you can do when it's not your company. You cannot put fires out if it's some kind of PR hassle. You cannot like you're literally limited. You know what I'm saying? But you need to understand those limitations. If you need to send an email, make a phone call and say, "Hey, what are my limitations?" Because you got some people that say you have to use the marketing material we provide you. You can't go make a new flyer. We gave you one. So that's your first step, is actually understanding your limitations. Does that answer your question? You can ask more. I'm
Um,
here. I'm here.
No,
Yeah.
I believe so. What I understand what you're saying is I need to know the limitations of what I'm selling. Like if I what in what ways can I market it? I know they do have their own marketing team and things of that nature to where they sell, you can go get their flyers, you can go get their information,
Hmm.
everything that you need is already provided, you know what I mean? And just being able to present this information, you know what I mean? So basically, and then you said I need to want to make sure I wrote this out. Then you were saying I have to know what's like in my control, like basically knowing um what I can and can't do, which goes into what you were saying as far as limitations and just being able to understand the market and then understanding like who can afford it, who can
Yeah.
who like the income bracket of others that can afford that's how I would look at the marketing and just being able to understand the ins and outs of what I can and can't do, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, it would be a good idea to talk about it. Like I can go on different social medias just to talk about it and get the
Hmm.
word out that way. You know what I mean? Which is a great idea. And but you said at the same time, which I haven't heard or seen anything that was any bad reviews or anything. Like I said, my reviews and the reviews that I have seen before I even got started was miraculous, literally miraculous. So I know that I haven't seen, there's no side effects. It's not like it's even medication. It's not like no steroids. It's not anything like
Oh yeah,
that.
it's just a
So,
patch.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just figure like, I can go ahead and talk about it and share it with people and tell them of my experience, you know
Hmm.
what I mean? Because that's the only thing I know that to do is be truthful and to let them know what it has done for me and even for people in my family, like my mom, you know, who struggles.
Hmm.
So yeah, I just figured like, okay, but I just didn't know how to go about it or how to reach people in regards to it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that was my biggest concern. How do I reach people, especially if I'm an introvert? I do try to get out and network, you know what I'm saying, more than I did in the past. But I just needed to know how am I going to get this information, which I think is awesome to other people who may need it or who may be struggling with some type of pain or illness, or some sort. So
De-
yeah, that's
definitely.
what I want to know.
Yeah, definitely. And once you start actually, like once you understand what you can do and can't do, and then you start looking into the reviews and the different things, you see what people saying about it. You'll also realize that there are different levels of competition. So it may be other patches, that's cool. But you got other things that's competition too, from pain pills to surgery, so you will understand all of those things being things that you can target, right? You can target the pain pills. So people that's looking up aspirin or Motrin, whatever, you can look up people that's targeted for knee pains. You can target it for um, whatever surgeries that's related to those type of things. All of those things are your competition. All those things are things that you have to do research on.
So what you're saying is, so everything that, um, so all the other issues that people may have that would cause them some sort of discomfort or have some type of side effects, then those also would be things that I'll do the research on so I can speak highly about the product that I have.
Yeah, you can just so you creating value within your product, right? So let's say the main complaint people have with aspirin is that it takes four hours to kick in, but your product it only takes 10 minutes. You understand that that's something that you can sell for faster relief, right? That now that's something you can sell.
Right,
You
right.
see what I'm saying? You got to know the competition so you know what you're selling. Why are you better? Why is this patch better than going to get surgery. First of all, you don't have the time to recover. It ain't no chances everything just going all the way wrong. You see what I'm saying? You understand that that's a strength. You just saying, "Oh my God, it's so good, it's cool." But when people are weighing their options, you have to give them the strengths of what you are doing. What this is no surgery needed, no major pain, no, it takes less time than Advil. You see what I'm saying? That's what you marketing is the benefits of doing your using your product compared to another product. Whatever the product, it don't have to be another patch. It don't have to be another patch. Anything that can help knee pain or muscle pain, whatever is competition. Anything. Right?
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Nah, no problem. You good, Brittany? Brittany quiet. She must have logged on and muted it. So if there's no more questions, I can get off of here. If you on my social media, you can send me a text on there or the number that texts you the link. You can text the number that texts you a link. You got a quick question or you want to schedule like a clarity call or something. I do those for free. So you can just click on there and like once you get some things laid out, we can go over what's the next step.
I do have one more question for you,
I'm here.
Coach JP. You had mentioned, I think I got something that said that you will be giving out, you will be doing like, what is it, a free seminar for 5 days or something like that? What's that about?
Seminar. Oh no, I don't do 5 day seminar. So what are you talking about my real life XP program?
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Real life XP. Let me write that down. Real
Yep.
life XP.
So this was I did one cohort of real life XP. Everything I just started everything since I graduated in May. So
Okay,
basically, I've been building this particular program for about 2 years now. Just
okay.
mapping it out, mapping it out, mapping it out. But I was in school full time, so I didn't really
Mhm,
have the time to like sit down and do everything. But
mhm,
about a month or so ago, I got everything started. I got five
mhm,
people in there, including Antoine, who you just mentioned. He's in
mhm,
there. He's
mhm.
in my XP program. He basically we in like the fifth week. Is initially it was a 12-week program, but I just text them last night and we only gonna do like 4 more weeks. I'm making it a 6-week program. So
Okay.
The XP program is the Entrepreneur Acceleration Program. And what that
Mhm,
is I believe that entrepreneurship for us is
mhm,
three main things that we have issues with. And some of the main things are the mindset. And that's
yes.
the first thing that I deal with is having an
Mhm,
entrepreneurial mindset, actually
mhm,
understanding that being an entrepreneur, especially for us, I always say
mhm,
that, but for us, it takes a lot more to, we got different type of family issues. We have different
mhm,
surroundings. Like you say, your son is in a mentorship program. It's just
mhm,
other things.
mhm,
So you know what I'm saying? It's other things that we dealing with as entrepreneurs. So I deal with
mhm,
that first, the entrepreneurial
mhm,
mindset. And second, I go through
mhm,
business systems and processes. So you actually understand systems and processes and how you can implement those into your business and streamline your business activities. And
mhm,
then the third step is getting business funding, credit, business credit, and funding. So I help people get business credit already. And that's what the program is always based on is just building up your credit profile, getting your personal credit together. I do that too, but I don't push that. If you already got good credit, you got good credit. You know what I'm saying? But it's important. All of it's important when you're an entrepreneur because you want to get to some money.
mhm, mhm.
So the program
Okay.
is only it's 6 weeks now. So in
Mhm,
November, I'm letting five more people in there. I'll be done with this cohort at the end of this month.
mhm,
Like the first week of October. And then I'm gearing
mhm.
up to start one more cohort for free.
Okay. Okay. Um, Now I know you mentioned how to do ads. like Facebook ads and things of that nature.
Mhm.
Now, what is that part of the training or anything like that in regards to how to have certain ads on social media?
Yeah. So when we do, so basically the program is six group meetings and six one-on-one meetings. So if the ads were something that you wanted to do, we'll just run through that. It's a part of the program where I do it with the group. But if it was something you needed help with specifically, we'll do it on our own time. Like, but with the group, it is one of the things is sales and marketing, and I go over ads in that.
Okay, sales and marketing.
But it's a general thing, like how I just went through that general um, presentation. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
general. That's why we have one-on-ones. I have one-on-ones. I have six group meetings and then six one-on-one meetings. So
Okay.
with the one-on-ones, it's more specialized thing, and then I talk
Mm,
about like other issues one-on-one. Like
okay.
one-on-one, we may have to talk about you being lazy, let's say, if a person lazy,
Mm-hmm.
or if
Mm-hmm.
a person have confidence issues, or if a person have this and that,
Mm-hmm.
I deal with those issues one-on-one. And within the group, I do what I just did and give a general presentation or a general thing, answer all the questions, and I come
Mm-hmm.
into every group with a target, like with a goal in mind. And
Mm-hmm.
I leave that particular group once I feel like the goal is met.
Okay. So like when I was speaking about being an introvert, that would be something that we would have to address, not getting out as much.
Yep, we have to
Okay.
address it because as an entrepreneur, you can't sit in a house. Like it just is what it is.
It is what
You
it
know what I'm saying?
is.
Yeah, it's just something that got to be addressed. Like you got people that say, "I'm just not a morning person." Yeah, but if it's action in the morning, you got to be a morning person. Like it's
Yeah.
just literally like these are things we got
Yeah.
to address. So then you may go through
Yeah.
things like, "Why aren't you this person? Why are you so shy?" Or why this
Mm-hmm.
like it's things that we got to go through. Like you know what I'm saying? We got
It's
to talk
true.
about it. Like you know what I'm saying? What you scared
Yeesh.
of? We just got to talk about it. What you
Mm,
scared of? Why you scared?
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Lord.
It's something we got to deal with because as an entrepreneur, as you see here, I'm a decent speaker. Well, I'm probably a lot better
Mm-hmm.
than decent. As an entrepreneur, you're going to spend a lot of your time talking to people, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
potential leads or customers or it's
Mm-hmm.
potential investors. You're going to have
Mm-hmm.
to talk. You're going to have to talk in front of
Mm-hmm.
people, and you should be
Mm-hmm.
comfortable talking in front of people.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, would you suggest that someone take like a speech class or take
Yes.
like the public speaking?
Yes, yes, I did it. I did it in school and I did it on my own. I took some public speaking courses. I also took like there are coaches for everything. Most of my coaching is mindset coaching, right?
Okay.
Most of my
Yeah.
coaching is mindset coaching. I give you
Okay.
business processes and everything because I have an MBA. I've learned business and processes. And I'm an entrepreneur, right?
Okay.
So I
Mm-hmm.
understand business and systems and processes, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But most of my coaching is mindset coaching because that's where most of the
Mm-hmm.
hang up is.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I appreciate that too. Real talk. I
Yeah,
appreciate that too. Yeah.
definitely.
So yeah, thank you so much. This is great. Thank you
Yeah,
so much. I'm definitely looking forward to working with you in the future. Thank you so much.
no problem. All right. You good, Brittany? Brittany then went back to work on us. All right. So if both of you guys are good, we can get out of here before one. As I say, I do this every Wednesday too. So I haven't decided what I'm gonna do next Wednesday, but I will send a text out probably Monday and let everybody within the group know that what I'm doing. This like sometimes it's six people, seven, eight people. Sometimes it's two. I don't care. I'm gonna be here every Wednesday. I wasn't here last Wednesday. I left a video because I was in transit, but I like recorded a video the day before and gave that out the next day. But other than that, I'll be here. And if you want
I
some
do.
more assistance, just come back.
I I do. I am coming back. I have one more question. You stated one of the last times, I think the last time I was on here, that you help people with their business because I have a LLC, but it doesn't have all the things that it need.
Mhm.
I recently got rid of my number because I was not being active. However, I still have my EIN And I even linked the life wage code, the life wave to it. You said don't do that, and that kind of confused me. It was like you said each business should have, because they were saying how being involved with LifeWay is a tax write-off for your business and you can use it up under your business. But then when I talked to you, you said that every business need its own LLC, or it need its own um it need to be on its own, right? Is that correct?
Definitely.
But I don't understand the difference between the two.
So
One,
how?
they saying you can link it to your business, but
Yeah.
then you said you can't, and it's not a good idea to link it to your business if you have an LLC. So I just really was kind of confused, and I didn't know how to move on forward from that, because I want people to be able to connect me with my business so I can have tax write-offs, but I don't know how that works.
You do know how it works because I told you how it works.
To
You,
be up under a business and don't
no, I
to
told
be
you. Get your own. No, you can't. How with the life weight thing? What's it called?
yeah, they said it's life wave. It's life wave.
Life wave. Yeah,
LIFE. Yeah.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
life wave. So
So
with that,
yeah,
you can't have a like. What is the business for? Is it for selling life wave?
yes.
Oh, so they giving you like a percentage of all the sales you make, like affiliate percentage,
Yeah.
a referral
Yeah.
percentage or
Yes.
something.
Yes.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
if that's what you want to use your LLC for, that's cool.
But I thought you said you don't
Is
don't
you are
mix
you
the
using
two.
something else?
Well, I had used it for something else, but it didn't work out. So I just was like, you know what? I'm done with that. I'm not using it for nothing else. But
Yeah,
so I wanted to use it for something that was working for me,
yeah, that's cool.
if that makes sense.
That's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
You if you're not using it for something else, I'm saying don't use it for don't use it for selling cars and then go use it for real estate. I'm just
Okay.
saying everything needs to be separate. If you sell cars, you need a LLC to sell cars. I do music. This is the LLC from my music company, Gifted and
Oh,
Talented.
that's cool.
It's a
That's
whole
cool.
it's a whole different company.
Okay.
It's a whole
Okay.
different company. Like I got a different social media account for it. Like it's a different company. I wouldn't put my consultant company under my music company or vice versa.
I get it. I get it. So, how do I get in touch with you in regards to doing that and being able to set up things to where people can contact me in regards to that? You said that you have something like is that part of the class that you're going to be working with people with as far as the entrepreneur program, or is it something different as far as your coaching
I can
services?
do yeah, I can do whatever you need. If you just need a LLC, like I could just go and get you an LLC today. Like, if that's what you wanted, or yeah, it's not a biggie.
It's like, you know how
Yeah.
people get in touch with you, like, you was speaking on like the having a telephone. You were saying making a business look like a business.
Yep.
That's one of the things you mentioned.
Yep.
And I was like, right, that's what I need. I need something that's gonna make it look like a business. I got
Yeah.
the LLC, but I need a website. I need
Website, a
a
business
phone
email.
number.
Yeah,
I
phone number.
need,
Yeah. That's a
yeah,
separate.
like you
Yeah.
mentioned all that good stuff. And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't have that.
Yeah, it's called it's business foundation. That's a different thing, like a different offer.
Okay.
But yeah, you can get
Okay.
that separate. You don't got to sit through a class to do that. And
Okay.
that's basically 4 to 6 weeks. So it's 4 to 6 weeks where I go through and I like literally walk you through everything. We get on Zoom and I'm like, look,
Okay.
let's go get this. I'm sending you links. Okay, just fill this out.
Okay.
Just let's do this, let's do
Okay.
that, boo, boo, boo. So by the end of the 6 weeks, then you'll have everything. So
Okay.
I've done this
Okay.
maybe I do this a lot actually. But the
Okay.
only it literally will take 4 weeks. If you came and did it, it'll take 4 weeks. And you will leave
Okay.
with some business accounts.
Oh,
So you can start building your business credit.
okay. That's what I need. Yeah, that's what I need. So I need to be, so the business foundation is something I need to get in touch with you with before I even think about the
Market.
entrepreneurship program.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So
Yep.
it's
Definitely.
steps to it.
Yep.
Okay. All
Yep.
right.
It's
All
it's
right. So
kind
I'll
of
be getting in touch with you.
Yep. And it's not hard. Like once we do the Zooms probably like 40 minutes. It's basically like a coaching program too. Because
Mhm,
to fill out the stuff take like 10 minutes, but I'm literally
mhm,
walking you through everything and then I'm explaining to you everything about the business and why certain things are important. And um
mhm.
at the end you want to start your business credit. Like you want to start
Okay.
getting your business credit.
Okay. Okay. I'm not gonna hold you up
Oh
anymore. I
no,
know I
I
have
do this.
to.
No. I'm literally getting texts and stuff on my. I'm not it's like my phone going crazy. My phone is
Okay.
getting all these texts on my watch. So no, I set
Okay.
this meeting for 90 minutes. So I literally
Okay.
come on here for on Wednesdays, and
Mhm,
from 12 to 1:30 Eastern,
mhm.
I am going to answer whatever questions that people come in here for.
Oh,
It's
thank
like
you. I
my open,
appreciate
yeah, it's like
it.
my open office hours, basically. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay. Because I was like, ooh, I know you're busy. Okay.
Oh
Let me.
no,
I
no,
see you
it's
looking at
cool.
your time.
No. My watch is like text. Like I'm so busy. Like it's
Okay.
like text and stuff going off. So when I look,
Okay.
I'm just making sure it ain't super important. It ain't nothing.
Okay.
That's why I ain't
Okay.
responding back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
big. I'm big
Wonderful.
on setting your time apart. So I
Okay.
set this particular time apart because people were like in my inbox half the time, and some of these are
Okay.
people I grew up with, and I don't want to be an a-hole,
Okay.
you know. So I'm
Yeah.
like, look, I'm doing this time from this time to that time, and it's
Okay.
helped me because I'm not answering questions all day. And what
Okay.
happens
Good.
is when I tell people I'll see you on Wednesday, they'll go Google what they should have did anyway.
Right. I hear you.
You feel me? You bothering me, and then when I say no, I'll be here at 12, then you don't show
Yeah.
up. It's cool. I ain't tripping. I see you next week.
Right.
You ask me something else, man. Here go the link. Sign up. I'll see you next week.
Right. Right.
Because
Yep. Yes.
people will pull from you every which way, like any way. If you don't set boundaries and limitations, and that's
Right.
something that I talk about within the entrepreneurial program. And
Yeah.
I'm not selling nobody the program. I'm giving the shit away right now. But I
Okay.
got a whole course, right?
Mhm.
I got a whole
Mhm.
entrepreneur. The XP came from this course. So the course is
Okay.
like 5 hours, right?
Okay.
And the course,
Mhm.
even with the stuff you talking about, I got a free
Mhm.
course with that stuff in there, like the
Okay.
foundation thing. The only
Mhm.
difference is if I gotta come and walk you through it and take you and do it,
Mhm.
that's what I'm charging
Mhm.
for. I'm not charging for the
Okay.
information.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
So basically what I get from you is that you have programs that are free that's available.
Hmm.
That is the content that I need. If I look through that information, and if I can do it by myself, that's cool. But
Yep,
if I have hangups and I need your time, then that's what you charge for.
yep, yep. I only
Okay.
charge for my time. I don't mind making the information. Like I got a full, it's called Real Life XP. Um, Give me 1 second. Let me see. I'm logging in to make sure it's
Okay.
give me 1 second. Log in. Okay, so I'm logged in. Let me share my screen with you.
Okay.
And you're gonna see what I'm talking about. So if you are in the community,
Mhm.
share the screen. Mhm. Why this ain't showing my oh there you go, Google Chrome. All right. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
So within my community, this what this ad was all about was this community. It's
Mhm.
a tab in here. This on my computer, but it's a tab in here called learning. And this is what
Mhm.
I'm talking about. This is the XP. So this entrepreneur acceleration course is the actual course. It's like 5 hours worth of stuff. And
Okay.
the course is you literally can walk through everything. So it's
Okay.
34 lessons and you just literally it's video.
Okay.
It's a video course. Like I go through everything, how I just went through that presentation. And it go
Mhm.
through, let me see if it's a list of everything. So it go module one, just to give you an idea of what's in there.
Mhm.
So we got, like I
Mhm.
say, everything start with the mindset.
Mhm.
This the first module is all about mindset, mind over matter.
Mhm.
And these are the
Mhm.
lessons in the first module. Finding your
Mhm.
passion, conquering your fears, weathering the storms, controlling your surroundings, family and friends, work-life balance. So this is it, part one, right? And then I start talking
Mhm.
about business. So you got the 4 A's framework. I believe that is action. You take action, you take accountability, like it's just go through all of that, understanding the
Mhm.
P's of marketing, boom. So then module two, and this is not like a YouTube course. This is something that
Okay.
I actually mapped out. I did
Mhm.
all of this myself. Like the only thing that's
That's
like,
so cool.
yeah, I literally like planned all this out. I outlined this course. I did everything myself. And I just like,
Mhm.
this is what I felt like businesses needed. Like I say, minority entrepreneurs. And then you
Mhm.
got in module two, I talk about business. That's why it's called business as usual. And then we got
Mhm.
feasibility tests. Is your business actual feasible? You got business models, revenue models. So I break all of this business stuff down. Your break even
Wow.
analysis, like I go through, I show my MBA off in there. So
Hey.
the first part all about my life. Like, I've been through hell in my
Mhm.
life too. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I know what
Mhm.
it takes to overcome it and to actually make some money.
Mhm.
I did six
Mhm.
figures in the last year. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's so cool.
And that was decent with me grinding. I
Mhm.
don't have a regular 9 to 5. I literally
Mhm.
do stuff like this, and I do contracting,
Mhm.
and I do the type of
Mhm.
stuff that we was talking about with Dot, where I do like I work with CVI
Mhm.
groups, so I do other
Mhm.
stuff. But I just started doing that like
Mhm.
the last 4 or 5 months. So basically, I've made this money with my business, real life business solutions, and me contracting. You see what I'm saying? So I
Mhm.
know what business look like, right? And you'll
Mhm.
see a lot of this
Mhm.
stuff. Once again, this is my MBA. I'm giving somebody like an MBA basically. This probably like a two
Mhm.
hour, it's probably 2 hours worth of material to where you
Mhm.
don't got to pay for this. It's all free.
Wow.
So, but this is a
Wow.
feasibility test, business models, your break even
Mhm.
analysis, how much money you need to make to actually make money, SWOT
That's
analysis,
so
all of
cool.
this stuff, targeting your customers, being consistent.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Selling your story. That's
Mhm.
what I was saying with you having to talk.
Mhm.
You're gonna have to sell your
Mhm.
story. That's
Mhm.
how you establish credibility, and then
Mhm.
systems and processes, as you can see, it got like a flow to it. And then once your
Mhm.
business is all the way together, this is my
Mhm.
CRM system, and this is customer
Mhm.
retention. Like it literally flow a certain way because I built it. I didn't buy
Mhm.
it. You know what I'm saying?
That is so cool. Right, right. I'm so glad to hear that your MBA is like working for you because that's what my daughter is going to school. She is actually pretty much following the same footsteps. She
Yeah.
is at Wayne State and she's at the Mike Ellis School of Business as
Hmm.
well. And so, like, she's a junior, and so I'm very excited to hear that that school, you telling me that school prepared you for all of this along with your experiences in life?
Mostly my entrepreneurial experience. See, I went into the school of entrepreneur. So I went
Oh,
into the school already knowing what I wanted to do, right?
okay,
But
okay.
I was in
Mm-hmm.
class with a lot of people that were like, shoot, they just worked at Ford and they was fine with that. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like I went to
okay,
school with a lot
okay.
of people who really didn't, they they
Mm-hmm.
like, look, I'm just going to work. I'm getting this so I can make more money. That wasn't my attitude. So I went back to
Right.
school at 30 some years old. I didn't go do that
Mm-hmm.
to go clock
Mm-hmm.
in. I went back to go
Mm-hmm.
do stuff like this. You know what I'm saying?
So you can be in business for yourself in a way
Yeah.
that it can expound. Okay. So I mean it can expand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it. I
And
get it. That's good.
everybody lean to their strengths because my
Mm-hmm.
strengths is I can actually communicate, I can speak, I don't mind being in front of the
Mm-hmm.
camera. Somebody else, they may be more comfortable in the office behind a desk clicking buttons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
like to do both.
Yeah.
I click buttons because I
Mhm,
got to, and I don't mind being in
mhm,
front of people. You know what I mean? So, but
mhm,
if you look at the last part though, you see this about building personal credit, like I said, then your financing, like
mhm,
saving money, assessing the resources, business credibility. That's what we were just talking about when I went over
mhm,
that checklist. And then once
mhm,
your credibility is good, right, you do business credit. You start building
mhm.
business credit. Once you get some business credit, you can get business funding. And once you got funding, you can see other financing options, right?
Do you have any? Do you have anything in there about what I was talking about earlier as far as networking and or speaking?
No, I
Like
don't,
I was
yeah,
saying.
I don't have that particular, just like
Oh, okay.
something that I just got into a little more like sales. I don't have a
Hmm.
sales course.
Okay.
Even if you just wanted to like do a quick business credit thing with the credibility
Hmm.
checklist, it's in
Hmm.
this course
Hmm.
too. This is a way,
Hmm.
this ain't like 5 hours. This was something that
Hmm.
I did like about a year and a half ago,
Okay.
right? And this is
Hmm.
it's like a quick one-on-one talking about the
Hmm.
this actually talking about the business credit.
Hmm. Hmm.
See what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
then you
Hmm.
have this, which is a resource sheet you can download, and the
Okay.
links on there are actually clickable. Like you can click on
Okay.
the link and go apply for something or go whatever, like right on the links in there. Right?
Okay.
So yeah, I
Okay.
do. So that's what I say. As long as somebody want to go do it, I got whatever
Hmm.
you need to go do it. I got a personal
Hmm.
credit. I got a personal credit course in there too. If you need to fix your personal credit,
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do. So which one has the personal credit? I mean, because my it's not bad. It's I'm like around, I don't know, maybe I'm like around 650, but I definitely
yeah,
want to get like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I want to get it way higher than that. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to get it to the point where like I'm like 800 and
yeah.
more. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Oh,
I'm talking
I ain't
about.
gonna
So
lie,
if that can help.
I ain't even at 800 yet, and I don't got no negative marks on my credit. But I started off with bad credit, so it's hard to get
Okay.
to 800. Shoot, even the high sevens for real. When you've had like
Mm-hmm.
I had a Lexus on my credit. I got off. I had
Mm-hmm.
like you know what I'm saying. So I didn't fought from behind. I'm great and
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful.
Mm-hmm.
But don't
Mm-hmm.
I ain't telling you don't fight for a 780 or 800. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that better is better.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, better is better. No, I don't
Okay.
want you to be discouraged. No, definitely fight for it, but better is
Oh,
better. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, like especially
Okay.
when you building business credit, as long as you got
Yeah.
more than the 680, you're gonna be okay. Like if you get into the
Okay.
700 club, you're gonna be more than fine. Definitely shoot your
Okay.
higher shot. I ain't tripping on that. I'm just saying I
Mhm.
don't have anything negative. I don't have an 800. Like it's
Oh,
yeah,
okay. I see what you're saying. Oh, you
yeah.
saying it might be a little harder to get.
No,
Okay, so
it's a
don't.
800. It's definitely harder to get. I'm saying fight for it, but if you building business credit, you don't need an 800.
Okay, but you
You
saying 680 is good.
yeah,
But I still need
680.
I still need some work for 680. You know what I'm
Yeah, that's
saying?
cool.
So,
Yeah, that's cool. That could be
yeah.
something minor though. See, a 680
Mhm.
could mean just paying down some credit cards. A 680 could mean actually getting another line of credit, depending on what your credit look like.
Well, I really don't have no credit cards to be honest with you. I
Then
don't
that's
have
why
no
you got a
credit cards.
650. You need
Yeah,
credit
I
cards.
don't
You're
really
gonna need a
have.
credit.
I got only thing I really got is school loans to be honest with you.
Yeah,
That's my biggest.
that's what's keeping you at 650. So you're gonna need credit cards to get you to 680, 700. If you got credit
I
cards, you may end up in 740ish, 730,
I
somewhere
have.
crazy like that.
I have listen, I have one credit card, but it's one of those credit cards that you put money on.
That's cool.
Uh,
It's looked at the same way, whether it's a secure card or unsecured card.
yes,
So
secure. Yeah, that's what it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah.
But you still need at least one or two more of those cards, one, two more credit cards.
Oh,
So you got to diversify your credit lines. You're gonna definitely need
okay,
credit lines. So if you don't
okay.
have like anything like uh let's say a home loan or a car note, something like
No,
that, that is just so you're gonna need
no.
something like self. You will need something like self because it give you one of those lines of credits, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
once you have that
Yeah.
line of credit, you can use your score will go up because you got to diversify your lines
But
of credit.
okay, I diversify my lines of credit. Okay, because
Yeah,
I
that
what I thought was it would make my credit if I go and try to get more credit
oh it
cards. I
will.
thought that would make my credit go down.
It will.
That's
It
why I didn't.
Oh no, it will. It will make it go down for a month, maybe two. Like it's gonna make it go down because what happens is you have an inquiry, which is gonna make your credit score decrease. Inquiry gonna make your credit score decrease. It's okay. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mhm,
And it's gonna
mhm.
be it could be 2 points to 10 points. It may be like it's okay.
Okay.
It's an inquiry.
Mhm,
You're gonna lose some points. But also your age decreases. So if you've
mhm,
had student loans for 20 years and then you
mhm,
go get a new line of credit, you know how
mhm,
averages work. So your average time frame for a line of credit or your age of credit, it decreases.
Mm-hmm.
So your score is going to
Okay.
drop.
Oh, okay. Okay, 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 okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
stuff that make your credit score. It's not just one thing,
Mm-hmm.
like you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So your age,
Mm-hmm.
without that, you're going to need new lines of credit because you only got one.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to need
Mm-hmm.
new lines of credit. So you want to go get two cards. You probably don't need prepaid cards or you probably don't need secure cards anymore. You probably can go get a couple decent credit cards, and you want to get
They
at
keep
least
sending it to me, but when I
yeah
have filled it out, maybe I'm filling it out wrong. But when I would fill it out, they would deny me. So I stopped trying. I said, well, it don't make no sense for me to get these inquiries on there and they're
yeah
gonna deny me anyway. That don't make sense. So I just stopped trying. I said, well, I'd be better off with the one I got and just leave it at that
nope. You
because
definitely gonna need another one.
okay,
You definitely gonna need at
okay.
least one more. I suggest two more. So that way you
But
got
they
three
keep
credit cards and then you
how do
got
you how do you pick which one to get? Because they say, "Oh, you
yeah,
pre-approve," and then you fill
I
it
wonder
out, and then it's like,
I wonder why they doing that to you.
it's crazy. So
Um
I was
I'll
like,
have
well,
to
maybe
see that.
I won't try that. Maybe I won't. I don't want to mess up, but I already have. You know what I mean? Like with all these inquiries. So I just like, okay, well, maybe So that's why I thought maybe the secure was the way to go, because I was like, with the secure, that has helped me. It has helped me. It's like build my credit. So that's why I thought that was probably the best way to go.
Okay. Yep, but that's you definitely gonna need it. I mean, no, that was fine too. You can get secure credit cards. It's
Yeah.
still you gotta work credit. Like you know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong
Mm,
with secure
yeah.
cards. I'm saying you probably wouldn't need it, but if they deny you, just get another secure card.
Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah,
will do
I'll
that.
send you a link. I do credit. I'm a credit card broker too. So I'll send you a
Okay.
link, and if they'll give you the secure cards, and you won't have to
Mhm.
like basically they're for building your credit. So I got two secure
Okay.
cards that's literally just for building your credit.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay. And
saying?
then how is the interest rate on there? Because sometimes the interest
Um,
rate be high.
don't give me the line. I haven't went on there in a minute, but it ain't super high
Okay.
though. Yeah, don't give me the line.
Okay.
I ain't gonna be like, yeah, it's 12%. Like I ain't sure. I haven't used them in
Okay.
forever. As far as me
Okay.
personally, but they
Well,
definitely
you
for
know,
yeah,
well, listen, if I'm gonna be working with you, I'm gonna follow your lead. Okay. And listen. If you know what I'm saying, you the expert in this. You know what you're
yeah,
doing. You the one that have you've experienced this,
yeah.
hands on, so I'm just trying to figure it out,
I got
and I'm
you.
trying to figure out how to make it work, and like you said, how to change my mindset to have that abundant mindset, come up out of that poverty mindset to
Hmm.
where I don't, I'm afraid. Like I want to go ahead and step out on faith and just like, okay, what am I doing now? And just follow the steps, because
Definitely.
I've already been stuck too long. So I'm just
Yep.
trying to get about that and say, okay, what do I really need to do? And if I'm working on one-on-one, because it's like before I worked in classes and it was a whole lot of people
Hmm.
and I didn't really get the help that I need. I do work better one on one, so that does help me a little bit better. So I'm glad that I found this
Hmm.
because the information, to be honest with you, and how you explained yourself so well so far, I've gotten more understanding within this hour or so than I have over the years with being in large classrooms. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
so yeah. I look forward to working with you. And then I'm gonna go over the information because I think from your CRM, I think I have that link to your website in
Hmm.
regards to the classes for the classes.
Yep.
And so I'm gonna go over that, look over it, study it, and take my time with it. That way, the questions that I have, I'm a great note taker, so I love asking questions. I love getting an understanding. So for me, that's gonna be great. So next time we meet, then I'll have questions. I'm gonna have more questions for you because you're doing pretty good with answering these questions.
Oh no, no, no. It's cool. Like I said, it's different when you know what you know. You got people that's just regurgitating information. I've took classes and different things, and I just wanted to do things different. That's why this is a little more
Mhm.
intimate. I'm actually at my dinner table. I'm not even at my desk. You know what I'm saying? I'm at
Oh,
the
that's
dinner
so
table.
cool.
I'm chilling.
That's
Yeah,
so
you know what I'm
cool.
saying?
That's
I'm
so
chilling. I
cool.
just want this to be just a little more than where I'm at my desk. I got like a setup with my desk and lights and
Mhm.
my library books and
Mhm.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
I'm kind of
Mhm.
chilling. So I'm out, the
Mhm.
sun out, I'm chilling.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what
Nice.
this, yeah, that's
Nice.
what this is all
Nice.
about. Is like it's a little more comfortable. And
Yes.
I like I said, I want people to know you're not on a time thing. Like I'm literally blocking off my life from 12 to 1:30 to make sure
Yes.
all the questions are answered. And I try to get through the PowerPoint presentation within 25 to 30 minutes. So I got,
Mhm.
30 minutes to an hour to answer all questions. Like I'm not
Okay.
rushing anybody off of this call, off of this Zoom meet.
Nice. Nice.
You know,
Nice. Thank you so much. I got some pages full of notes that
yeah,
I'm about to go study. And
definitely,
then I'm
definitely.
going back to your website so I can study some more.
Definitely. I'm glad that's what it's there for. And I took a lot of time putting that course together, that big one, that
Mhm.
real life
Yes.
XP course.
Yes.
If you go through that course, like
Yes.
you got to think it's 5 hours. So if you did an hour a day, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If you did an hour a day and actually, like you said, took notes, um,
Yeah.
you're gonna like it's literally like I just gave away an MBA. And I did
Right.
better than giving away an MBA because I had a teacher, right? I had a professor
Mhm.
that when
Mhm.
I graduated last year with my bachelor's, and I
Mhm.
was about to graduate last year, and I talked to her. She was
Congratulations.
thank you.
Mhm.
She was cool. Um,
Mhm.
the bachelor's was a cool congratulations, but I got that master's
Mhm.
now.
Hey,
But she
congratulations
that's a
twice,
bit, there
maybe
we
two
go.
times.
But my professor, um, she was a great teacher, like a great teacher. The
Mhm.
way she explained information was so good.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I talked to her. I'm thinking like she gotta have a business because when I got my associates, one of my
Mhm.
main professors was an
Mhm.
entrepreneur. He was
Mhm.
doing what I'm doing now. He was a consultant too, but he
Mhm.
had like
Mhm.
a bunch of successful businesses
Mhm.
and he was a consultant. So he the one that
Mhm.
gave me the idea of being a consultant. I did a few business plans for him, and
Mhm.
like he
Mhm.
seen how good I was with processing his information, and he was like, "Man, you
Mhm.
got to look into consulting." And he gave
Mhm.
me his information. Like, look, this
Mhm.
is all my business information. This is my flyer. He said I don't
Mhm.
usually tell people what I charge, but he gave me
Mhm.
like his price sheet and breakdown.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And he was like, he said, you
Mhm.
need to look into this. I think you will be a great consultant. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Wow.
And
Yes.
once I did that and actually looked into it, I talked about it on one of
Mhm.
my podcasts.
Mhm.
But I
Mhm.
looked into it. I'm like, dang, this is kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? And so
Mhm. Mhm.
from then on, I've literally been like, look, I'm gonna be a consultant. Even when I get my MBA, that's what I mean. I
Mhm.
went into the
Mhm.
MBA program knowing I was going to be a consultant.
That's so cool.
You see what I'm
That's so
saying?
cool.
So
Mhm. Mhm.
so back to the teacher from last year, I'm assuming she is like the guy Hank. That was the one I'm talking about. His name was Henry.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking
Mhm.
she like Hank. I'm like, okay, she
Mhm.
must be an entrepreneur too. And
Mhm.
when I talk to her and I get to talking business with her and everything, she
Mhm.
was like, Mr. Hill, I see you really love business. She said, I don't. I
Ooh.
promise you, this what she told me. She said, I don't. I just like teaching. She made me realize
Wow.
it's a difference.
Yes.
You see
Oh
what I'm
my.
saying? She said, I
Yes.
tried to start a business about 10, 12 years ago. She said, I hated it. She said, I hated it. I like doing my curriculum and I like teaching. And it's comfortable
Wow.
for me. It's a space that I can control. You know what I'm saying? I control my schedule. I do this. She said, I was an entrepreneur for about a year. She said, I hated it. She said it was
Dang.
long hours. I had to put in a lot of work. She said, I hated it. She said, I love that I can come in here, make my curriculum. She said, I don't have to change curriculum, but every few years, I can come in and teach the same information every year, every semester.
Jeez.
You see what I'm saying? She said in business
Jeez.
stuff changing and all of that. So you got to be a certain type of person to be an entrepreneur because it's literally constantly changing. Things are constantly, you know what I'm saying? Your position is constantly changing. Your money is changing, your whatever, like you know what I'm saying, everything changing. You have to be a certain type of person to be an entrepreneur.
My question is that if you working and you make it work for you and you have the right concept, you have the tools and you adjust according to what makes you unique, why not try something that may work for you? I can't stop trying to figure out what works for me. You know what
Mindset.
I'm saying? There's layers to it. It's not like I don't get nothing from it. I grow from it,
Hmm.
but I can't stop there. You know what I mean? Like I understand that, entrepreneurship is not for everybody and that it takes a unique mind to grasp these concepts. However, I also think that once you stop trying, or I guess if you figure out what you love most and put that
Hmm.
energy and effort into that, I guess it make the biggest difference. But if you're still trying to figure it out, wouldn't it be best to just figure out what works best for you? Like what,
Yeah, but
especially if you get all the tools, like, but if you don't, like, in my case, I was missing tools. It was going too fast. It's like I still needed people around me who wouldn't mind working with me
mhm,
instead of just hurrying me up with all this information that was brand new. Like now, like even when I go through your course, I still feel more confident because at least I've been in business classes in regard to entrepreneurship. I went through. I
mhm,
did what I need to do. You know what I'm saying, to the best of my ability. So it's not
mhm,
going to be all brand new for me. Whereas like I even have an LLC, which I didn't have that before. You
mhm,
know what I'm saying? I just couldn't keep up with it because there was just too many missing pieces and too many moving pieces that I couldn't keep up with to grasp. I still needed some more information and I didn't have the right connects. So that's my interest. My interest is making sure I understand the information to see how it can work for me. Then I can be more confident in, putting that product out or and speaking in front of an audience. Because when I'm passionate about something, I'm going to speak about it. When I'm passionate about something, I want to let the world know about it. But at the same time, if I don't know how to get to those people, if I don't know the target market, if I don't have the right people in play to connect with as far as networking so I can bounce ideas off of, I don't know how well it works for me. You know what I'm saying? So I got to be in the right atmosphere. I got to be
mhm,
around the right people.
mhm,
I got to be around trustworthy people because then that's another thing I notice is that I fall off. If you're not trustworthy, then I throw my game off.
mhm,
I can't even deal with you. I can't even think straight for real. So I got to know that you're on the up and up. And then, you know what I'm saying? I can move forward. I can ask you questions and you know you're not trying to take advantage of me. Like, no, I'm not doing that. So, you know what I'm saying? So it does matter who I connect with. So when it like word of mouth, I'll go off of word of mouth. I'll go off of somebody who I trust telling me about a business or telling me about somebody who
mhm,
can help me, opposed to just going and just clicking on, some getting some clickbait and just, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm not, no, I'd rather go off of word of mouth. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? Let somebody tell me about you more so than me trying to figure some things out because that didn't work for me in the past. It just didn't work. It didn't work the way I wanted it to. I was all excited, like, oh yeah, this gonna be it. Got some partners, and they took advantage. And I was just like, dang, that's how it is in business. Y'all just no loyalty. Like
Yep,
what? Like
yep,
what we doing? Like you just taking advantage of people who trying to y'all see I'm trying to figure this out, and you just go, no, I ain't. I'm like, nah, if that's the way business is, I don't want no parts of it. But then I come to find out it's not. Yeah, that can be parts of the business, but if you got some good people like some loyal people, some people who are operating integrity, people who actually want to see you win, then that
mhm,
can be a whole different outcome. So I had to learn that. It was just a hard way of learning it. You know what I'm saying? So that didn't, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't deter me. It just made me feel like, okay, I see there's missing keys here. I need to hook up with the right people instead of just hooking up with people who just talking a good game. I can't do that.
most
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at, coach. That's where I'm at.
Nah, I definitely understand. You in the right place. So we locked in. Go through that. If you
Yeah.
like I said, even if you go through and it's just 30 minutes a day, like I laid
Right.
that course, that XP course is laid out, and nobody has went through the whole course yet. Nobody.
For real?
I can see like I can go on there and see what type of progress you made in the course. If you logged
Okay.
in, like I can literally see it. And it's people that did it, like they get to like the second one or whatever, but it's a lot of information. It's not like we in it ain't like it's COVID no more. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like you just got
Mhm,
all day you in the house doing courses.
mhm,
So people that got
mhm,
out of that type of mode, now they back moving
mhm,
around. And it's like, you know what I'm
mhm,
saying? They don't sit down and do it, but I ain't tripping.
mhm.
Like,
But you said it's 5 hours, but for me, I'm a note taker. So it
Yeah.
might be a little longer for me. You know what I'm saying? I need my notes for
Yeah,
real.
but
So, you
when you
know,
start doing it, see, this the thing about notes that I had to learn this just this year. You don't necessarily need all those notes. I'm an avid note taker myself, right? Like literally, I'm like no crazy. But what I started learning was that the more notes you take, the less you really learn it, right? Because
really?
you lean to your notes. So what you do is instead of taking the top 3 or 4 key points that you wanna actually do, you take 2, 3 pages of notes and they just a bunch of notes. You may be able to go back and see, the whatever, but if you take in a course and you take, let's say, 10 notes out of the whole 5 hours, two quick notes an hour, whatever. I'm just throwing something out. But you're
Hmm.
more likely to do those 10 things.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So you don't need to
Hmm.
take notes for information. You need to take notes for implementation.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
okay, I need to implement this. I need to do this.
Okay.
Because if you keep pausing and writing, no pause and write, you literally stopping the whole flow of the course. Where you watching, you soaking up everything. Something that's really important come, you take a note for yourself. Okay, I need to do this.
Okay. What I need to do. Okay.
Yeah, more
Okay.
so for action than for information, just for knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. I'm gonna try to remember that.
Try
Okay.
that. That'll help you out. Cause I'm literally was terrible.
Okay.
And then I ended up
Okay.
like recently, like in the lab, because I'm still, even though I finished school, like I'm
Hmm.
still learning. Like I got a whole, like I said, I'm usually in front of my
Hmm.
bookshelf and I'm
Hmm.
sitting there reading and taking notes and learning stuff still. You
Hmm. Hmm.
know what I'm saying?
So
Even
what you're
coaching stuff.
saying, so what you're saying is I should be trying to figure out how to implement what it is inside these lessons more
Hmm.
so than just taking notes.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Definitely. Yep. Even if
Okay.
it's something that you don't like, I may say something in a course because the first one is about entrepreneurs, well, the mindset, and it's about like family and different stuff. So I may say
Hmm.
something about, you know, creating space from certain family members or whatever. You may be
Hmm.
able to take a note on that part. You know what I'm saying? It may be
Hmm.
15 minutes, a 15-minute course, but you may take a note on that and maybe 2 or 3 key points from that one thing. Like, okay, I
Hmm.
need to create this space and 3 things. I need to watch for this, watch for that, watch for that. You're more likely to
Hmm.
use them 4 sentences,
Hmm.
that one paragraph, basically. You're more
Hmm.
likely to use that than if you'd have took 3 notes on it
Okay.
because you got all this
Okay.
information and no plan of action.
Plan of action. Okay. 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 Okay.
You feel me?
Okay. All right. Dang, you is good. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay. All right. I got my work cut out for me for real.
Yeah.
Okay.
You enjoy the rest of
Okay.
your day, and I hope to see you
You
on there next
too.
week.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much. All right.
No
Have a
problem.
great day. Okay.
You
Bye
too.
bye.